My name is Hira. I am 32 years old, and this is not just a story. This is a chapter of my life I never thought I would share. There was a time when I believed that love could fix everything, that if you love someone deeply, they will never hurt you. They will never leave you. I was wrong. Before moving forward, please subscribe our Pro English Stories channel for more interesting stories like this. The kind of man who knew exactly what to say. When he first proposed to me, he said, "Hira, I don't want a perfect wife. I just want you." Those words stayed in my heart. I said yes, without hesitation. Our wedding was simple: family, a few friends, and quiet happiness. In the beginning, life felt beautiful. We would wake up together, drink tea in the morning, talk about small things, laugh without any reason. At night, we would sit on the balcony, looking at the sky, dreaming about our future. Farhan loved talking about children. He would say, "I want a house full of noise, kids running everywhere." I would smile and reply, "Let's start with one first." We would laugh together. Those were the days when everything felt right. But life doesn't always stay the same. After 1 year of marriage, we decided to try for a baby. At first, it felt exciting, hopeful. Every month, I waited. Every month, I prayed. But nothing happened. I told myself, "It's okay. It takes time." Farhan also stayed calm in the beginning. "Don't worry," he said. "It will happen." But slowly, his tone started to change. Months turned into a year, and hope started turning into pressure. One evening, he asked me, "Why is this taking so long?" I didn't know what to say. "I don't know," I whispered. That was the first time I saw frustration in his eyes. We decided to visit a doctor. The doctor was calm, professional. She said, "We need to run tests for both of you." I nodded, but Farhan stayed silent. On the way home, he finally spoke. "I don't need any tests," he said. I looked at him, confused. "But the doctor said." "I said I'm fine," he interrupted. His voice was firm, cold. I didn't argue. That was my first mistake. Days passed. Then, slowly, things started to change. Farhan became distant. He stopped talking the way he used to. He came home late, sometimes without even informing me. Dinner became silent. We sat at the same table, but it felt like we were miles apart. One night, he said something that broke me. "You're the reason we don't have a child." I felt my heart sink. "I don't know that," I replied softly. He laughed bitterly. What else could it be? That was the moment blame entered our home. After that, everything started falling apart. I tried everything: doctor visits, medicines, prayers late at night. I cried silently, so he wouldn't hear me. But Farhan never tried to understand. Instead, he changed completely. He became impatient, angry over small things. Sometimes he shouted. Sometimes he ignored me for days. And sometimes, his words hurt more than silence. One night, during an argument, he said, "I should have married someone else." Those words stayed with me. I wanted to speak. I wanted to defend myself. But something inside me was already breaking. Still, I gathered courage. "Farhan," I said quietly, "please, let's both get tested." He looked at me with anger. "Why are you blaming me now?" "I'm not blaming you. I just want to know the truth." But he didn't listen. "You are the problem," he said. "Accept it." After that night, we stopped being husband and wife. We became strangers, living under the same roof, but living completely separate lives. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. There was no laughter anymore, no conversations, no love, only silence and pain. I felt alone, even when he was right next to me. 3 years passed like that. 3 long, painful years. Then one day, he made a decision, without asking me, without trying to fix anything. He divorced me, just like that. No explanation, no closure, I remember that day clearly. I stood there, holding my tears, not because I was weak, but because I was tired. Tired of fighting for a love that was already gone. I left his house quietly. No drama, no arguments, just silence. But the world outside was not silent. People talked. They always do. She couldn't give him a child. That sentence followed me everywhere. Relatives, neighbors, even strangers. No one asked my side of the story. No one cared about the truth. And slowly, those words started living inside my mind. Maybe it really is my fault. That thought destroyed me. So, one day, I made a decision. I left the city. I needed space. I needed a new life. A life where no one knew me. A life where I could breathe again. The new city felt strange at first. New roads, new people, new silence. The first few months were the hardest. I lived alone. I cried often. At night, memories would return. His voice, his words, his accusations. I questioned everything. Was I really the problem? That question never left me. But slowly, very slowly, things started to change. I found a job. It was small, nothing special, but it gave me something important. Purpose. I started working hard, not to prove anything to others, but to prove something to myself. That I could survive, that I could stand again. Day by day, I became stronger. I stopped crying every night. I started smiling again. Even if it was just a little, I was rebuilding myself, piece by piece. And then, one day, something unexpected happened. I met someone. His name was Ayan. He was different, calm, gentle, respectful. He didn't try to impress me. He didn't ask too many questions. But he listened, truly listened. We became friends. Slowly, I began to trust again. Months passed. Then one day he said, "Hira, I want to marry you." I was scared, very scared. So I told him everything. My past, my pain, my fear of not having children. I expected him to walk away, but he didn't. He smiled softly and said, "I don't need a perfect life. I just need you." Those words healed something deep inside me. We got married, and this time, everything felt different. Calm, safe, real. There was no pressure, no silent expectations. Only understanding, only respect. Months passed, then 1 year, and then something unexpected happened. One morning, I felt weak, dizzy. At first, I ignored it, but Ayan noticed. "You don't look well," he said. We went to the doctor. I felt nervous. Old fears returned. What if something is wrong again? The doctor ran tests. We waited. The minutes felt heavy. Then she came back, smiling. "Congratulations," she said. "You are pregnant." For a moment, I couldn't breathe. "Are you sure?" I whispered. She nodded. "Yes, you're going to be a mother." Tears filled my eyes. I looked at Ayan. He was smiling, but his eyes were wet. He held my hand tightly. "I told you," he said softly. "Everything happens at the right time." That moment changed everything. All the pain from my past started to fade. All the doubts, all the blame, all the hurt disappeared. The problem was never me. I was never broken. I just needed the right person, the right environment, the right peace. Months passed. My pregnancy journey was full of love. Ayan was always there, every doctor visit, every fear, every smile. And then the day finally came. I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. When I held her, I cried, not just from happiness, but from healing. Ayan smiled and said, "She's perfect." Years later, we were blessed again. A baby boy. Our home became full of life. Laughter filled every corner. The silence from my past was gone. Life moved forward, slowly, beautifully, peacefully. I also focused on my career. With Ayan's support, I grew stronger. I worked hard. And one day, I became a manager. not because I was his wife, but because I earned it. Life had finally become what I once dreamed of. Years passed. Then one day, my past returned. I was standing outside my office. My children were with me, laughing, playing, and then I saw him, Farhan. He looked older, tired, broken. He walked toward me slowly. "Hyra," he said. I stayed calm. He looked at my children. "Are these yours?" "Yes," I replied. He stepped back, shocked. "But how?" he whispered. I looked into his eyes and said, "The problem was never me." Silence. His eyes filled with tears. "My second marriage," he said slowly. "We still don't have children." The truth finally came out, but it was too late. "I made a mistake," he said. "I lost you." I felt no anger, no pain, only peace. "Please come back," he said. I shook my head. "No, I still love you," he said. I smiled softly. "Love is not enough," I replied. "Respect matters more." He looked down, defeated. "I forgive you," I said, "but I cannot return." He nodded slowly. For the first time, he understood. Before he left, I said one last thing. Never blame someone without knowing the truth. He walked away, and this time, I didn't look back, because my life was no longer behind me. It was right here, with my husband, my children, my peace, and this is what I learned. Never judge someone without knowing the truth, and never lose a good person, because, one day, you may realize their value, too late. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe to our Pro English Stories channel for more interesting stories like this. And don't forget to comment where you are watching from. Keep learning, keep growing.